WTF just happened.
What's up, nerds and nerdettes, and we little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big John and G, the Two Good Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. What's up, everyone? Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for checking out Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All very cool. But I'm not here alone, my friends. I've got two of the 20-sided warriors with me. We got Argon Al, we got Ren. Now, we just finished a game of Dead of Winter, The Long Night. Well, pretty much just Dead of Winter. We did not play the Long Night module or the Roxen module. So it was just really just Dead of Winter with different and new characters. Now, the reason we're doing this episode, and it's been a while, we're doing this episode of WTF Happened.
Yeah, and it did.
Yeah, that exactly. Thank you, Ren. That's why we're doing it, because of their reaction right there.
Uh-huh.
All right, guys. So it's been a while. It's been at least a year since I've played the game. Rob, who just left, even just said as he's walking out, probably about 2 years since he's played this game. Ron, this was your first game.
It was my first time, yes.
And Alex, like, about a year?
Yeah.
At least?
At least.
Okay. So we went into this rusty. Yeah. Or noob. So it took us a couple of rounds to catch our feeding again with the rules.
Yeah.
And I think we made a couple of mistakes. I just want to open this video up by admitting to everyone that we did make a couple of mistakes because we were rusty on the rules.
Yep.
But that is not, I think, really what attributed to our horrible loss.
It did, because Rob could have prevented us from losing morale, so we could have had one more round around the table. But understanding what your characters can and can't do is very important, and especially if you have the one character that can actually keep your morale from sliding. That's kind of important in this game. Well, we were all missing what our character abilities. It was just like there was one character ability that if it was firing, we would have made it one more round, and somebody probably would have won. Who that would have been, I don't know.
I had all my personal goals done.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you can see here, the morale hit 0.
Yep.
That really hurt us. And we were loaded down, as you see. There was, I mean, I know the last couple of games I played, there was a lot more zombies at one point on the table. This is by far the most I've seen. I got to say, it's not. I mean, but it was starting to get a little
hairy.
Yeah.
Well, aside from not understanding what our characters can and can't do, I think the real beginning of the end is when we got over-flooded with refugees, essentially.
Yeah. The bus
of school kids.
Oh.
What are you going to do? Turn them away and then have your morale go down even more?
Well, the option was we had to give them enough rations of food.
So it was a crisis, and if we gave them enough food, they wouldn't have come to stay with us. But since we failed, it meant that we needed 4 additional food every turn.
And that was another issue, was the fact that we weren't pulling up enough food rations.
Yeah, to beat these things.
You know, to at least keep our own meager, crew fed. And then we got these, 8, 9 mouths to feed?
8 more mouths.
It was
helpless survivors.
It was hard too, because our first crisis required food, and then our second crisis required food. So we used all of our food on the first crisis, managed to beat it, and then just couldn't pull it together for the second one. Meanwhile,
and also you gotta understand, also with the main game, you still have to add in the food rations,
so that you're not having starvation and losing morale every turn.
So
and we weren't doing good with that from the beginning.
No, well, actually, from the beginning,
we were failing literally since the first round. On that.
Right.
So we were slowly starving everyone to death in the colony.
Meanwhile, I was the traitor, and had I not thrown off suspicion on myself by throwing cards in the first round, I would have won. Because I had everything I needed, and I was short 2 cards, which are the 2 cards that I put in for food for the first objective. So had I not thrown those in, when we ran out of morale there, I would have won.
And that was the opening round. You needed to save face.
I was like, I'm gonna just add trust early, then I'm not gonna help out the rest of the game. No one's gonna notice. It's gonna be fine. It almost was.
And the fact you played poor Rob at the end.
Yeah, I
putting the suggestion in his mind.
Rob's crossroads. No,
Yeah,
Rob's
Crossroads.
crossroads was if somebody even casually accuses another player of being a betrayer, then it flips. And the player that they accuse, their leader dies. And then you have to vote whether to exile the accuser or kill a helpless survivor and lose a morale, or have a player sacrifice another survivor and remove a helpless survivor and lose no morale.
Horrible choices.
And these guys over here are like, oh, let's exile Rob. The one person who has something that can keep us from losing morale is a special.
Yeah, well, but at that point, we were at that stage where no matter what we did, it wasn't going to help.
Well, if those tribute cards that I threw in there to dispel distrust had actually been police cards, and Rob was still a survivor, wasn't exiled, he could have prevented the morale loss, and we would have. If I wasn't a traitor, we would have won. But
you were a traitor, so you would have won. So we're doomed from the start. So.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that betrayal got hot and heavy too.
Yeah.
That crisis card, because all of a sudden, Alex, just mentions about the possibility of a traitor in the midst, and totally lays the seeds, and then Rob, who was sitting there, totally bites into it and starts accusing me of being the traitor, and the table started getting loud.
Yep. Well, one person got loud.
Yeah, me. So the table was getting loud. And I'm yelling back at these guys, how dare you accuse me of being a traitor? I've been consistently giving in to something, one thing or another that we need to, from round to round, turn to turn, to keep things going. And they didn't buy it. They didn't buy it at all. And it got to the point where we're sitting here, I'm yelling, we're arguing it, and all of a sudden the door opens up, and there's Mrs. Big G. What the hell's going on?
It's just a game.
It's just a game. Like, no, yes, it is. This is part of it. This is part of it. Leave us alone. So I got killed for no reason because I was not the traitor.
Yeah. Well, I had to sow those seeds of discontent.
Mob rules, so to speak.
Yep. I had to get it down to 1 morale. That was my goal. Have Rob survive. I had a shiv in my hand, so I could shank somebody and kill them and reduce it down to 0 morale and win the game the next turn. But,
Once again, Rob screws everything up there. I had to get himself exiled.
No, it wasn't Rob's fault. It was your guys' fault for
voting him that way.
Yeah.
But I was totally going to vote. Of course, my logic was exile him because he was wrong and he caused the murder. And the other option was to sacrifice someone else for his mistake.
Well, he didn't know he was making a mistake. That's what those crossroads cards.
I didn't know, but it still was a mistake,
And John, we could have won that. You guys could have won that if you would have been contributing cards in that tribute.
I put in when I could.
That would have...
Which was actually part of the game, is the fact that, remember, we were, when we're doing these searches, you get what you get.
You get what you get, but we needed 2 from each location.
And I needed 1.
And you
guys were putting stuff in, so I was like, let me take care of me first, because I see that they are putting stuff in to where it needs to be put in, and then when I take care of me, I will continue to contribute. But no one gave me that moment.
Oh, we gave you that moment.
And then you attacked.
No, Rob attacked.
Oh, because you
I
were the Grimer worm tongue in his ear. That's why.
Yep. I just wanted to exile Rob because first time playing, I'm like, let's
Yeah.
see what
Let's see
exile
what
does.
happens.
Let's see what happens. All right, Rob.
It's funny, with the exile, Rob could have been the only person that won.
If he would have had the conditions for his card.
Oh, yeah.
And he was just unfortunate and didn't have the cards he needed. So when it came down to it, my plan backfired. You guys shot yourselves in the foot, and you gave Rob the accuser the one chance to win. Oh well. But as I feel like usually happens in Dead of Winter, we all lost.
Yes, we did.
No
but
one won.
but we kept our humanity. We kept a sense of civilization before we just lost all morale. We had that moment of that one last fleeting sense of humanity of doing the right thing.
Before being devoured by the mindless zombie.
Yeah. The inevitable. Oh, so it was a lot of fun. So, Ron, this was your first time playing. You enjoyed it?
I actually enjoyed it. Like I said before, I think if I had played it once before and kind of had a good sense of how the pace was going to go, then definitely, this would have been a lot more fast paced. But for right now, I gotta say, I really enjoyed myself in this.
So next time we're looking for about a 2-hour game. This could have your vote.
Oh yes, definitely.
Excellent. Now you're returning to the games. Obviously, you enjoy playing this whenever you can.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one.
Excellent. All right, so that is WTF happened to our game of Dead of Winter, The Long Night. So thank you very much, everyone. I'm Big Johnny G. With me are the 20-Sided Warriors, and we just finished Dead of Winter, and we are